Okay, let's dive in. You know that moment, right?
Mm.
The one every leader eventually faces. Doesn't matter if you're, running a small team or a huge company.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
The data is just noise. The
Mhm.
timeline,
Hi.
impossible. And every single option feels, well, equally risky.
Right.
You've got the info, you've got the experience, maybe decades of it,
Us.
and somehow it just falls agonizingly short.
It does. And we wanted to explore what separates the leaders who kind of crumble under that uncertainty
Yeah.
from those who somehow manage to rise above it.
And that separation, that's really the focus of our deep dive today, isn't it? This idea of discernment.
Exactly. Discernment.
Yeah.
The source material makes it really clear that the pace of modern change, it's completely outstripped our old ways of making decisions.
The old models just don't cut it anymore.
Not really. You're surrounded by dashboards, metrics, real-time feeds. It's overwhelming.
Totally. Information overload.
But you're still grappling with these fundamental questions that, frankly, a spreadsheet just cannot answer.
Like what kind of questions?
It's like, is this direction genuinely good, for the long haul? Or is this action really timely? Or am I just rushing things?
Right, the deeper stuff. So our mission today is really to help you close that gap, that space between, let's say, knowing what's technically possible and actually seeing what's fundamentally right.
Yeah, that's the friction point. That's where modern leadership either kind of fractures or it transforms.
Okay, so we're going to walk you through a practical framework for this,
Yeah.
something actionable.
That's the plan, anchored in 4 powerful filters: truth, goodness, timeliness, and godliness.
Got it. 4 pillars.
So let's set the stage first. Why does discernment matter so much right now?
Good question. Urgency.
Well, the sources talk about this period of data deluge and the wisdom drought. It's a great phrase.
Data deluge, wisdom drought. I like that.
We're basically drowning in information, but we're starved for the insight needed to interpret it well.
And the stakes are higher.
Oh, much higher. The risk of choosing quickly, but choosing poorly, it's never been greater, because failure just cascades so much faster now.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. It flips the script on success, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, forget the usual stuff, assets, market cap, processing speed. The sources are saying wisdom is the rarest, most valuable currency today.
Absolutely. The truly ultra-rich in this context,
Right.
they aren't defined by what they own.
Right.
They're defined by understanding the deepest principles.
Yeah.
And crucially, having that rare ability to just pause amidst all the chaos.
That pause, that's where the strategic advantage comes from.
That's what the sources argue. That ability to pause is the source of real strategic gain. While everyone else is, reacting to the latest blip on the screen, the discerning leader steps back, asks those deeper questions, and they spot the structural weakness the data completely missed.
So it translates into actual advantage.
A tangible one, because they're building something that lasts, not just something quick, something enduring.
Okay, but let's talk tech for a second. If you're so focused on data prediction, why can't AI just handle this discernment stuff for us?
Yeah, good point.
I mean, AI is essential for efficiency, right?
Yeah.
So why do we need this separate category called wisdom?
Well, that distinction is absolutely crucial. AI is invaluable, no question. For prediction, optimization, finding patterns in data, it operates perfectly on algorithms.
Okay.
But it cannot replace the human spirit when it's grappling with meaning, with morality.
Right.
AI can tell you the statistically optimal route to maximize profit, for instance.
Sure.
But it can't answer. Is maximizing profit this way right? Does it reflect who we want to be as an organization?
So leadership is more than calculation.
It has to be. It delves into meaning, morality. That's the human element AI can't replicate.
Okay, that makes sense. And it leads us right into this idea you mentioned, the efficiency trap.
Yes.
We hear it constantly, right?
Yeah.
Speed, leanness, efficiency is king.
Yeah.
So why do the sources call it a siren song, something dangerous?
Because efficiency, by its nature, seeks the cheapest, quickest route for the shortest distance.
Get it done fast.
Exactly. Think of the architect who uses cheap, maybe untested materials just to hit a deadline. That's efficiency prioritized over everything else.
Okay, I see the danger.
But wisdom demands the steady hand of endurance. It calls for structural integrity, safety, longevity. It prioritizes a strong foundation.
Principled execution over just fleeting achievement.
Precisely. Decisions driven purely by efficiency. They almost inevitably compromise things like employee morale, ethical standards. Long-term sustainability gets sacrificed.
You optimize for the quarter.
And weaken the decade, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so to move past that trap, we need a structure.
Yeah.
A way to force ourselves to look at those foundations.
And that's the framework we're diving into now, those 4 interconnected pillars we mentioned.
Truth, goodness, timeliness, and godliness.
That's them. And the argument is, if any one of those pillars is weak or missing entirely,
The whole decision is compromised.
the whole structure is unstable. So let's start with pillar 1, truth. The question here is this real? Is this right?
Okay, truth. What does that look like at the strategic level?
Well, foundationally, it demands factual accuracy, rigorous research, questioning assumptions, making sure the data is actually reliable.
So not just taking a report at face value.
Definitely not. If a report shows, say, declining sales, the discerning leader doesn't just accept the number. They dig.
Dig deeper.
It's seasonal? Or is there a systemic root cause issue we're missing? You have to get to the real truth.
But you mentioned earlier that truth, for this kind of leader, goes beyond just the dashboard numbers. There's a deeper alignment.
Yes, absolutely. Even if the facts are correct, the strategy seems sound. Truth requires more.
Okay, what else?
It requires principled alignment. Does the decision uphold universal standards, justice, righteousness, integrity?
Ah, the ethical dimension of truth.
Exactly. Take a decision to cut costs using, say, unethical labor practices somewhere. It might be economically true in a narrow sense.
It might even be legal in some place.
Right. It might pass legal muster.
Yeah.
But it immediately fails the deeper truth test.
Because it violates principles of justice, care for people.
Precisely. The truth of principled character has to override mere economic or legal truth.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
It draws a really crucial line between just being compliant and actually being ethically sound.
Mm-hmm.
But hang on, if we define truth to include those ethical mandates, why do we need a whole separate pillar for goodness? Doesn't truth kind of cover the moral ground already?
That is an excellent question, and it really highlights the nuance here. Truth is about integrity, accuracy, alignment with principle.
Okay.
Goodness, pillar 2, is about benevolence and benefit. It pushes us beyond just legality, even beyond basic ethical minimums.
How so?
It demands we actively consider the positive impact, the flourishing for all stakeholders, employees, customers, the community, even the environment.
So it requires empathy, a broader view.
Active empathy, yes, and a really broad perspective. It's not just do no harm.
It's actively seek to benefit.
Exactly. The sources actually link this directly to the idea of loving your neighbor as yourself, but in a practical, organizational way.
Okay, give me an example.
Let's take that decision to outsource a department. It might be factually sound, that's truth. It might be strategically efficient.
Right, checks those boxes.
But the leader using this framework has to pause and ask, this is good. What's the real impact on the people being laid off? What's the ripple effect on morale, on reputation? Goodness compels that leader to look for creative solutions, solutions that maximize the positive impact and minimize the collateral harm, even if it takes more effort or creativity.
I see. It adds that proactive, positive impact layer. Okay, let's move to pillar 3, timeliness. Is this the right moment?
Yeah.
This one's fascinating because it implies that even good, true decisions can fail. Just because the timing is off.
Precisely. Missing the kairos moment, that opportune qualitative time.
Kairos moment. I like that.
Timeliness is the strategic filter ensuring maximum impact. It involves market cycles, team readiness, but also maybe a kind of spiritual sensitivity. Is the moment ripe? Is the way prepared?
The sources use some powerful examples here, right?
Yeah.
Historical ones.
They do really underscore the massive strategic failure of impatience or just bad timing.
Let's hear them.
Well, think about Abraham and Sarah. Their impatience to get an heir leading to Ishmael. Or King Rehoboam's rash decision ignoring his elders, implementing harsh policies immediately.
Right, leading to division.
Regardless of how you view the theology, these are universal strategic cautionary tales. The core decision itself, having an heir, enforcing royal control, might have seemed sound on some level.
But the timing.
The timing was profoundly untimely, rushed, impatient, lacking counsel. And the results? Generational conflict, national division. Bad timing can wreck even a good idea.
So getting the timing right maximizes impact and avoids unnecessary fallout.
It prevents premature failure, yes. Okay, finally, pillar 4, godliness. Does this honor God?
This is the ultimate filter then. If a decision is already true, good, and timely, what does this one add?
Godliness filters for purpose and execution. It asks the deeper questions. Does this decision ultimately bring glory to God? Does it align with his core character, mercy, patience, love? Does it advance his purposes in the world?
Okay, but the execution part is key here, you're saying.
Absolutely key. A decision can tick the first three boxes: true, good, timely, but if it's executed with arrogance,
Or impatience, or lack of compassion.
it falls short of godliness. The how matters immensely. God cares not just about what we do, but how we do it. Does the process itself reflect divine character?
Let's make this concrete.
Yeah.
The sources use that scenario about John, the marketing director. Walk us through that.
Okay, so John's about to launch a major new product. Big deal for the company.
Right. High stakes.
But he discovers a design flaw. It could lead to potential privacy breaches for a small percentage of users. Now, the legal team has signed off. They deem the risk acceptable.
Okay, so legally he's covered.
Legally, yes, but John is immediately forced back to Pillar 1, truth. But beyond just the legal truth.
What's the deeper truth?
The legal truth says go, but the engineering truth, the reality of the flaw, combined with the truth of his own conscience, it screams, stop.
So he refuses to accept just technical compliance is the whole truth.
Exactly. Then Pillar 2, goodness. He has to calculate the harm.
Even if it's a small percentage of users.
Precisely. Legal might see it as an acceptable statistic. But John's commitment to goodness makes him think about the devastating impact on those few real people. Compromising trust for anyone poisons the well for everyone.
And this is where integrating the pillars really makes a difference.
Yes. His focus on goodness and ultimately godliness, that deep sense of integrity, protecting the vulnerable, leads him to delay the launch.
Even against internal pressure, presumably.
Oh, certainly. Choosing principle over expediency. And that decision, delaying the launch, actually shifted the action. It made it timely by being patient, ensuring the final product was built on integrity.
Wow. That really brings the framework to life.
Frameworks are essential tools, definitely. But the sources emphasize something deeper. True discernment isn't just about applying a checklist.
It's more than that.
It's the outflow of a cultivated heart. The truly discerned leader isn't just someone who makes these kinds of decisions occasionally. It's who they are. They're constantly seeking to renew their mind, their perspective.
So moving beyond the what to do into the who to be.
Exactly, from checklist to character transformation.
Okay, so that brings us to the internal work. If it's about cultivating the heart, what does that actually require? The sources mentioned some core disciplines.
They did, several key ones. And the primary avenue, really regardless of your specific background, is prayer.
Seeking divine wisdom.
Yes, but it requires a specific posture, profound humility, admitting, I actually don't know the way here.
And it's not just talking to God.
Crucially, no. It's carving out space for listening just as much, maybe more than speaking. Asking for clarity, not just endorsement for what you already want to do.
Listening, not just speaking.
Yeah.
That's powerful. What else?
Then there's the role of scripture. And again, this isn't just about reading verses out of context.
It's about formation.
Yes, formation. Consistent engagement lets those timeless principles, integrity, justice, mercy, actually shape your worldview. They provide the ethical compass you need when new challenges like AI ethics or whatever comes next pop up.
An anchor in timeless principles. Makes sense.
And wisdom is rarely found in isolation. We absolutely need community and counsel.
Getting outside perspective.
The sources remind us, in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. A discerning leader actively seeks out diverse, even critical counsel.
To expose blind spots.
Exactly. It means intentionally avoiding the echo chamber, the dangerous comfort of the yes men who just reinforce what you already think. Real counsel often feels a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, challenge is necessary. That seems linked to the last discipline, character. It's interesting that discernment isn't just intellectual.
Not at all. It's deeply intertwined with who we are. It demands specific character traits,
Yeah.
like humility, knowing your limits, like patience, resisting that urge for rashness that ruins timeliness, and self-control, preventing emotions like fear or anger or even greed from hijacking your judgment.
If you're controlled by your emotions.
You can't be controlled by principles. It's that simple.
What really stands out to me is how this all connects to the long game, to enduring impact and legacy.
Yes.
The ultimate measure isn't just the next quarter's result. It's whether you built something on, well, eternal foundations. Prioritizing those four principles over just temporary convenience.
And the goal, the personal goal of cultivating that discerning heart is ultimately to finish well.
Finish your assignment, your leadership role, With integrity.
With integrity and a clear conscience. And that requires lifelong humility, a willingness to self-correct, and being a careful steward of whatever influence you have, avoiding that arrogance or complacency that can trip up even great leaders late in their careers.
We've certainly covered a lot of ground here. Looking at how real transformation in leadership hinges on consistently applying these 4 integrated filters: truth, goodness, timeliness, and godliness.
Mm-hmm.
It really does shift decision-making from just a stressful burden into something more like a spiritual and strategic discipline.
It does. And I think the world right now, it no longer needs just faster decision makers. It desperately needs wiser ones.
Wiser one.
And you, the listener, you're now equipped with a framework to lead with more clarity, understanding that wisdom truly is the competitive edge that never becomes obsolete.
A final thought for our listener, then.
Yeah, maybe a question to sit with. What shift? What fundamental shift might occur in your influence, in your organization, maybe even in your personal legacy, if you truly committed to ensuring every single decision reflects that unwavering commitment to principle over temporary convenience?
Principle over convenience. That's a powerful challenge. Embrace that art of discernment. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you move forward embodying this kind of wisdom consistently, courageously. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.